Hi, and welcome to this new episode of Health by M, the podcast. This week, I want to talk about something that is so important, in my opinion. I really do think it's essential in order to be happy in life, and it is gratitude. I think it's talked about quite a lot, and the word might be thrown around a bit, but even if it might feel like it's a bit overrated and that the topic is a bit washed out, I really think gratitude is so powerful and that it deserves all the attention that it can get. And for years, I've been trying to think of things that make me grateful in life. I have tried to do it every day, even just 2 to 3 things, and I've realized that it makes such a difference in my mood and overall outlook on life. And even though it might be hard to consciously do it every day, it doesn't really need to be anything complicated. It can just be super simple and things that you think of. You don't really have to write them down if you don't have the time and want to. But these past few months, when I've been back here in Stockholm, I decided to take this practice to the next level. When I was going back to Sweden from New York in late November, I was, of course, excited to see my family and friends, but I didn't feel that eager and happy to be back in the cold and darkness. So a friend of mine encouraged me to do my best to stay positive, and he told me that I should really use this time to focus on my work, my health, and also focus on the good things that I had back home. And I usually do that during the colder months. I hibernate and go a little extra into my work mode. And I try to do that, but also really appreciate the time when I go back. So it's something I've been doing a lot these past couple of months. And I've honestly had such an amazing time back home. And yes, it has probably helped that I've also had a date for my next trip and just a time when I know I'll be in a warmer climate again. But I even postponed my trip because I felt that I needed to sort out a few work things back home, but also because I just felt it was so great to be here and spend a lot of time with my mom and other family members and friends. And even though it has been super cold and dark, and even though I haven't had a proper home since I gave up my apartment in Stockholm a few months ago, and even though I have been facing several challenges, lots to do with work and so on, I have honestly had the best time, and I've been able to see so many positive and good things with everything that has happened. For example, I have tried to appreciate the fact that I've been able to experience a few days with sunshine and that have been really beautiful, even though they've been cold, and that I've been able to accomplish and solve so many things at work. Also, that I've been able to have a temporary home at my mom's place, which I'm so grateful for. And instead of going like, oh my God, I have all my stuff packed in this basement and I barely have any things left and so on, I've really been focusing on that I do have this home. I have a place to sleep at. I have my favorite things still with me and so on. And I think it's been really important to just shift the mindset of scarcity and lack to gratitude for all the things that I have. And it has honestly made it such a great time. And I've been able to see and talk to so many new amazing people in my life. I've been able to eat my favorite foods here in Sweden and so many other things. And once I've started to think about it, I found a lot of things in my life to be grateful for. And it just feels really, really good. And I'm actually a bit fascinated about how easy it has become to find things I am grateful for, and not just doing it as another task on my to-do list. I've been trying to be really conscious about it and actually feel the gratitude, appreciate the fact that I have this and so on. And I don't know if you remember, but I did record an episode after the summer that was about seasonal affective disorder, SAD, where I expressed my anxiety around fall and winter approaching and how much I usually struggle during this time. I didn't have many answers on how to deal with it myself back then, but now I would definitely say that my best tip would be to establish a gratitude practice and try to find as many things as possible that you're grateful for. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to neglect any uncomfortable feelings or be overly positive all the time, but just to help your mindset navigate towards gratitude as often as possible, even when it feels challenging. And therefore, I just wanted to share my current 3 best tips when it comes to gratitude and how to infuse it more into your life. So, the first thing is something I briefly mentioned in last week's episode, which is that in bed, right before falling asleep, I have been thinking about as many things as possible that I am grateful for. And when I do that, I do not only realize that it's super easy to not just find 3 things, but even 10. And that the small and simple moments like having a dinner with your friends or going to a workout class that you really like, those are the things that actually add so much value into your life. The small moments become the bigger things. I also think it's great to end the day and fall asleep with that high vibe feeling of gratitude, since it really helps me to sleep better. And secondly, I have also been doing many of the journaling prompts on the retreat. And I've reflected a lot on different parts of my life, and I try to include gratitude in them as well. As I have been planning and setting goals for this upcoming year, I have also been thinking back of the things I've accomplished during this past year, and I've tried to celebrate them, mostly in small ways like treating myself with a little snack or something, but I think that still counts as a celebration and it makes me feel good. So, for those of you who are interested in this, you find lots of journaling exercises on my membership platform, The Retreat. And another tip, if you're new to journaling and gratitude and want to establish this practice, is to get the 5-minute journal from Intelligent Change. It's super easy and you just fill out a few lines each morning and night. And since I am an ambassador for Intelligent Change, I believe this is considered an ad. But I also just want to mention that you get 10% off your first order from Intelligent Change if you use the code HEALTHBYM. So that's just a little tip if you want to try this amazing journal or any other products from this brand. And then, last but not least, I've tried to reframe my thinking a lot when it comes to challenges and situations where I might feel uncomfortable, I don't know what to do, and so on. I've always tried to remind myself that setbacks always teach me something and doesn't even necessarily have to be something negative and an actual setback, but rather a redirection or other type of lesson. And in addition, for example, if I get a really large bill that I have to pay, instead of thinking like, oh my God, that is so much money and feeling a bit stressed or irritated about it, I really, really try to tap into a state of gratitude and tell myself how amazing that I'm able to pay this money for this incredible thing that gave me so much joy and so on. And even if it is an electricity bill or other type of invoice that might seem a bit quote unquote boring, you can always find gratitude in that too. Probably even more when you think about it and compare it to paying for a new sweater you don't actually need anyway. Because without electricity, life wouldn't be as easy and fun, right? So this is a great tip to keep in mind when it comes to manifesting money too, since it really helps us to improve our relationship with money. And again, reframing the mindset and always redirecting ourselves from that negativity, stress, lack, fear onto gratitude and focusing what you have. So even though you might feel like in the moment that you're giving away so much money or you're losing money, you have to remember that you actually got something for this. So yeah, this is really key, I found, when it comes to, finding ways to including gratitude in so many parts of your life. And also, as I mentioned, really improve your relationship with money. So these were just a few tips and a little episode around gratitude. I do know that there are times when it is really, really hard to think positive thoughts and find things to be grateful for. I really want to say that I do know this. However, I hope this episode can help you to just feel a sense of inspiration and hope And to be just a reminder that when we focus on what we have rather than what we don't have, we feel so much better and richer in so many ways. So try out this practice and these tips if you haven't yet. And please share this episode with anyone that you think would benefit from hearing this and get this reminder. Also, I would be so happy if you gave this show a rating and a review if you like it. So please consider doing that if you want to help spread Health by M, the podcast, and want me to continue to record these episodes. And speaking of gratitude, I am so thankful for everybody listening. I can't believe that there are so many people listening to these little episodes. It feels like, it's just my closest friends and my mom. But when I see the numbers, I almost get a little bit, not scared, but like, oh my God, there are actually people listen to me talking every week. So yeah, I am so thankful for all of you who are listening and commenting and sharing and sending in tips and questions and so on. It really makes this so fun and rewarding. And yeah, I just want to express my gratitude to all of you. All right, take care and have a great rest of your day. I will be back next week.